Imagine standing alone on a battlefield, facing an opponent who's as prepared to kill as you are. In Japan's feudal era, this was the reality for a samurai, and it was an art perfected by one man above all others, Miyamoto Musashi. Musashi's life was a tale of courage, strategy, and a relentless pursuit of mastery that saw him emerge undefeated from over 60 duels. He wasn't just a swordsman, he was a philosopher, an artist, and a strategist whose insights went beyond swordplay. Today we'll dive into Musashi's greatest duels, unraveling how his mindset, technique, and strategic foresight set him apart. These duels weren't just fights, they were intense encounters that revealed timeless lessons. Through them, we'll uncover Musashi's unique approach to turning even the fiercest rivalries into lessons in personal mastery. Musashi's first encounter with death didn't come from the battlefield, but from a formal duel at just 13 years old. His opponent, Arima Kihei, was a seasoned warrior and the kind of challenger most young boys would have avoided. But Musashi had a bold spirit. He stepped into this battle with little training, wielding a wooden stick instead of a blade, a choice that showcased not only his bravery, but his ability to adapt on the fly. As they fought, Musashi displayed an unbreakable focus, an intensity that caught Kihei off guard. He didn't rely on technique because he didn't yet have it. Instead, he had an indomitable will and an almost primal instinct for survival. In a swift, powerful move, he struck Kihei down, marking his first victory. This early duel shaped Musashi's philosophy. At an age when most would still be learning basic skills, Musashi learned that self-trust and inner strength could overcome even the most dangerous of opponents. This idea would become central to his approach to combat and life. Quote, "There is nothing outside of yourself that can ever enable you to get better, stronger, richer, quicker, or smarter. Everything is within, everything exists. Seek nothing outside of yourself." For Musashi, this duel wasn't just a test of physical strength. It was his initiation into a lifelong journey of self-mastery. His understanding that power came from within would lay the foundation for his strategic mind, turning him from a mere fighter into a philosopher of war. Fast forward to Musashi's 20s. By now he was building a reputation, challenging and defeating samurai across Japan. His duels with the Yoshioka clan, however, marked a turning point. The Yoshioka family was deeply entrenched in martial tradition, known for their excellence in swordsmanship. But for Musashi, victory was never about physical strength alone. It was about controlling the battlefield, both external and internal. Musashi's first duel with the Yoshioka clan was against Seijuro, a skilled swordsman and the pride of the Yoshioka family. Musashi arrived deliberately late. To the samurai code, this was a sign of disrespect, but Musashi knew what he was doing. He understood that the delay would unsettle Seijuro, planting a seed of frustration and throwing him off balance. When Musashi finally appeared, Seijuro's mind was already agitated. His anger clouded his focus, making him vulnerable. Musashi struck quickly, ending the fight in a single blow. Quote, "Perception is strong and sight weak. In strategy, it is important to see distant things as if they were close, and to take a distanced view of close things." Here, Musashi displayed his understanding of mental warfare. To win a fight, it wasn't enough to outmaneuver an opponent physically. Musashi believed it was just as important to outmaneuver them mentally. Seijuro's defeat was a public blow to the Yoshioka family's honor. Determined to avenge his brother, Denshichiro, known for his aggression and strength, challenged Musashi next. Musashi again adapted his approach. This time he studied Denshichiro's impulsive nature and decided on a quick, calculated strike to end the duel as fast as possible. He knew he couldn't let Denshichiro gain any advantage of momentum. With one precise movement, Musashi landed the finishing blow, taking control from the very start. Quote, "Observe their attacking posture and avoid it when you attack. Attack with a feeling of constantly crushing the enemy, from first to last." Musashi's ability to adapt his tactics showed that he wasn't just relying on strength, he was practicing a unique kind of strategic flexibility, seeing each opponent as a distinct challenge. This insight was key to his undefeated record. With both sons defeated, the Yoshioka clan had no choice but to protect their honor through any means necessary. This time, they plotted to ambush Musashi, gathering overwhelming numbers to guarantee his downfall. But Musashi was no stranger to deception. He arrived early, assessed the situation, and observed the clan's preparations from a distance. When the Yoshioka forces finally attacked, Musashi's response was swift and decisive. Using his understanding of the terrain and his opponent's lack of cohesion, he quickly neutralized the threat. This wasn't just a victory of strength, it was a masterclass in situational awareness. Quote, "In battle, if you make your opponent flinch, you have already won." Musashi's ability to read his environment, anticipate moves, and take decisive action was a perfect example of his belief that a warrior must be adaptable, aware, and always a step ahead. Perhaps the most iconic duel in Musashi's life was against Sasaki Kojiro, known for his deadly swallow cut. Kojiro was confident, accomplished, and in many ways Musashi's equal in skill. This showdown would take place on Ganryu Island, with only one man expected to leave alive. Musashi knew that Kojiro was prideful and respected as a swordsman. To gain an edge, Musashi delayed his arrival, keeping Kojiro waiting, allowing the tension to build. This tactic was more than a mind game. It was a way to unbalance Kojiro, to leave him stewing in a mix of impatience and anger. When Musashi finally arrived, he was calm, carrying a wooden sword carved from an oar, a symbol of his mastery and resourcefulness. As the duel commenced, Musashi stayed patient, observing every movement. Kojiro's infamous swallow cut was fast and deadly, but it also left him vulnerable for a split second. Musashi waited for that exact moment, striking with his wooden sword and defeating Kojiro in a single, precise blow. Quote, "Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world." This duel wasn't just about defeating Kojiro physically. Musashi's patience, mental clarity, and confidence in his timing turned an almost certain loss into a decisive victory. His wooden sword became a symbol of the belief that victory is determined by one's mind as much as one's weapon. For Musashi, victory wasn't about defeating opponents, but about mastering oneself. His book, The Book of Five Rings, outlines his principles, a balance between aggression and calm, action and observation. Quote, "Today is victory over yourself of yesterday. Tomorrow is your victory over lesser men." This principle suggests that the greatest battle Musashi ever fought was with himself, with his own limitations and fears. He taught that the true warrior isn't merely someone who conquers others, but one who conquers himself, who overcomes inner obstacles and constantly grows. His famous concept of winning without fighting reflects a mindset that we can apply beyond the battlefield. Whether in business, personal conflict, or self-discipline, Musashi's wisdom encourages us to understand when it's necessary to engage and when it's better to withdraw, always aware of the balance in any situation. Miyamoto Musashi's legacy endures not because he was the strongest samurai, but because he was the wisest. His approach to life and combat reveals a profound understanding of human nature, discipline, and strategic thinking. Musashi's path was one of constant learning and adaptation, a journey not defined by the duels he fought, but by the mastery he cultivated within. Quote, "The path is the same whether you hold a sword or a brush. The difference is in the way you use it." Musashi's wisdom transcends the sword. It teaches us that life, with its endless challenges, can be our own battlefield, where we apply strategy, patience, and awareness to conquer not others, but our inner obstacles. Thank you for joining us on this journey of self-discovery. If you found value in today's episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.